What's up, co-reporters, and welcome back to my channel. The rumor mill is buzzing with rumors that Jonas Brothers star Joe Jonas and Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner are separated and on their way to getting a divorce. I've got to tell you guys, I don't know how to feel about this rumor, okay? Like it first started on a Reddit page, I think it's called Faux Moi, where someone posted side by side photos. One of them was Joe at a concert not wearing his wedding ring, and then the other was Sophie Turner in a tub with her friends, clothed and not wearing her wedding ring either, and not even her engagement ring, right? So they were like, this is really strange. What's going on? And then people who've been attending the Jonas Brothers concerts have been saying that Joe hasn't been wearing his ring for at least a week, I believe it is. And so signs are pointing to trouble in paradise. Mind you, this post was made yesterday, and at just around the same time, or maybe a little bit after or before by coincidence, I'm not sure. But the Jonas Brothers Instagram page posted this photo of the three brothers, Kevin, Joe, and Nick from left to right. And if you look really closely at Joe Jonas, you see that in this photo, he is wearing his wedding ring. So it makes you kind of wonder what that initial rumor and tea was all about. Why hasn't he been wearing it on tour for about a week now, but he's fine to post it on Instagram all of a sudden, in the Jonas Brothers Instagram page. Do you think that they're just deflecting and trying to throw us off? Mind you, this was posted only about 16 hours ago. So I do think that they are aware of these rumors, people starting to wonder what's happening, and they are trying to kind of throw off that entire situation. Now, let's get into Sophie's Instagram, okay? If you look into her actual grid, this is the last photo that she posted. Sophie doesn't post on Instagram very often, but this is the last photo that she posted. And it's a carousel, but at the very beginning of the carousel is a photo of her and Joe, and she is kissing Joe's hand, which is very sweet and affectionate. And the caption says, "Long, long New York night." To me, it seems a little bit strange that we would have this photo from her being posted 2 weeks ago before the rumor started, if TMZ is claiming that they've been separated for about 6 months. Why would they have had a nice romantic moment like this 2 weeks ago if the separation would have happened, what, like in February or so? It just does not make sense. This is why I'm still on the fence. I could totally see them separating and divorcing, right? And it's nothing to do with them in particular. It's just the way marriage goes. A lot, what, 50%, maybe even more marriages fail and end in divorce. So it's not exactly shocking, surprising news. It's just a little interesting. And mind you, Sophie was only about 19 years old when she started dating Joe. She was about 21 years old when they got married, about 22 when she had her first kid. Then there was another kid right after that. It's a lot for someone so young. It feels like she never really got to live her independent young adult life. And so maybe this is something that is hitting her like a ton of bricks now and is causing issues within their relationship. I really don't know. This is me just speculating. So now there is something else that's coming out about them that makes me think that these rumors might in fact be true. So now it turns out that the two of them had actually sold their gorgeous, stunning Miami home. And they had only bought that home a couple of months before they sold it. And after selling this Miami house, there hasn't been any news about them looking for a new house or even purchasing a new house. So it makes you wonder, are they getting rid of this home to make the divorce easier? If there even is a divorce coming, I'm not sure. I just want to put out as much information as I've got to you guys to help you make your own informed decision or opinion about this entire situation. Honestly, I'm quite sad to hear about this. It's always sad to hear about divorces and whatnot, and the two of them, their children are so young. Another thing that doesn't really surprise me about them potentially having issues in their relationship is the fact that they are an international couple. Sophie is from England, Joe is from the United States, and although Sophie came to the United States to work on Game of Thrones and other projects, she prefers her life in England and she wants to raise her children in England, whereas the United States is what Joe knows and what he wants to stay and raise his family, that might be another thing sowing discord within this relationship. And it's always sad to see. When I cover 90 Day Fiance, The Last Resort, there's a couple that's going through this as well, Yara and Jovi. So she is from Ukraine and she wants to have an apartment in Europe. I don't believe it's in Ukraine, especially with all the issues that they've got going on right now. But she just wants to be in Europe, a little bit closer to her family, which is something I understand. So Sophie is the same way. She loved the education, the school system that she had growing up, the fact that like celebrities and their children get more privacy in the UK than they do in the US. And she's got her family and friends there, but it's tough for Joe because he's got his family and friends in the US and whatnot. So that's another potential like kind of deal breaker or relationship killer. But even if they separate, I wonder how that is going to work. That doesn't seem like an easy thing. I don't think it's fair necessarily or fun for children to be flying such long haul flights on a regular basis. So hopefully they're able to come to some kind of an agreement that doesn't involve shuttling them back and forth every other weekend or something like that, because it's absolutely miserable. I can't imagine doing it. Now, I do want to say something that I saw in the TMZ article talking about them being separated and getting divorced. They said something kind of strange, which was that Joe has been looking after the kids while he's touring, and they made it sound like it gave Sophie as a deadbeat kind of vibes, which I don't understand because isn't that typically what women do? Like they do this and then it doesn't get pointed out like there's some kind of a hero for raising the children that they decided to have. You know what I mean? So I don't know why they decided to go ahead and slip that in the article. It feels like this might get a little bit ugly just based off of that. I'm also wondering if Sophie is perhaps suffering from postpartum depression or anxiety or anything like that. Like, you know, their youngest child is still quite young. And again, she had these kids back to back. So I don't think she really had enough time to recover mind, body, and spirit before having the second child. So I can see that causing her problems. But either way, it felt a little bit nasty and shady to slip this into the article. So I do feel like perhaps this TMZ article about their potential separation and divorce came from Joe Jonas's camp. Okay. Now, but that it just makes it so weird to me. Like if this info is coming from his camp, it would mean that perhaps they're right, or sorry, accurate, that they've been separated for about 6 months. But then the post on Sophie Turner's Instagram page from about 2 weeks ago doesn't make sense to me. Why would she post this cute lovey-dovey photo of her kissing up on Joe Jonas's hand if all is not well in paradise? You know, this is a post from 2 weeks ago. I don't understand why somebody who's been separated for 6 months would post something like this, you know. Other information that I heard about Joe Jonas is that he, in addition to no longer wearing his wedding ring as of a week ago, he has started like skipping some songs on the set list. So the Jonas Brothers, during their concert, apparently they like to honor their wives with like photos of them, dedicating certain songs to them. And there's a song that used to constantly be dedicated to Sophie, but apparently that is no longer the case, in that the Jonas Brothers no longer sing that song as of about 2 or 3 concerts ago, which also adds to speculation. Fans are also saying that Joe has not been looking like his happy, chipper, you know, usual self, which obviously would lend more credence to the idea that he is going through a separation. It is all just so sad, you know, like how old are these people? Sophie is only about 27 years old. So imagine going through a divorce and you're only 27, Jesus. And Joe is 34. Lord, this is why I don't understand why people always try to rush people into marrying so damn young. I'm sorry, but this it's a lot. Like obviously you go through so much change and you need to experience life as an independent adult, in my opinion, before getting married. So it's sad. It makes me really sad, especially for Sophie, because like I said, she was only like a teenager when she got with Joe, who was in his 20s. He's what, 26 or something like that. Yikes. And now here she is, about to be 27-year-old divorced mother of 2. It's just a lot. It's very overwhelming to even think about. Joe, he's what, 34 years old. It's still young in my opinion for divorce, but it's a little bit more standard for somebody to be freshly divorced in their mid 30s than in their late 20s, right? Anyway, best of luck to the two of them. This is very sad. I'm disappointed on their behalf that it has allegedly come to this. But like I said, this photo of Joe and Sophie posted to her Instagram page from just 2 weeks ago makes me think that maybe it's just another phase. They have broken up in the past prior to getting married. So maybe this is just another phase of that where they're kind of hitting a rough patch, but they will make it through and find their way back to each other. Or maybe I'm just naive. Either way, you guys let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. Are they or aren't they separated and getting a divorce? Let me know. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.